Hello, people. It's your boy Master Chudy out here with another comic review. So, yeah, we get into Deathstroke, and I gotta say, I'm glad I got back into it because, Deathstroke, liked him when he tried being a good guy, not to a death of his character, but it seems that he just can't help it. And in the annual, we see that his Defiance has broken up because Tanya is unfortunately in limbo, dead, but not really dead. Kid Flash has left. If I just left, Rose is somewhere else. Jericho has left the team, and it's just Tara and Slade. And as you can see, it even develops further, and he seems to have this split personality in his head. But anyway, we see Chinatown, Part 1, Deathstroke, and we see that he'll be fighting the new Superman, who seems to be an interesting character from this book, so I gotta check, maybe I'll check out a series, I don't know. But yeah, it's a pretty nice cover. So here's what we do. We do what we got to do. We see a sword in a museum. We see failsafe, and then they're just talking about the sword. To preserve this heirloom, we've plated it with an inertron, which reflects 100% of heat and light. So it also makes for an effective anti-gravity agent, and it's used in this transport. So, of course, we see Slade is in this museum, and it's a piece in Minneapolis, basically. This sword is from the Shao Dynasty of China, basically. So we see that he takes it to a pawn shop. Oh God, Slade, why? He's like, I give you $10 for it. It's like, but it's a family heirloom. Historical price. It's got a price here, pally. $10. He's like, done. So we just see this fire. Wait, what's the whoosh? I don't know what this means, but we'll find out later. So, Chinatown Part 1. We get this nice scene. Slade's in the bus, reading a paper. Sorry, Metro train, reading a paper with a bunch of people. We just see Christopher Priest does the stories. Dinus Nevis is the pencils, Travis Scott's the inks, Jeremy Cox is the colorer, and Dave Wilgoss is the assistant editor, and so on and so forth. So we see he's down here. We see nice sequential art right here. We just see Slade. It's on the bus in Brooklyn yesterday. Mother with the kids. Slade is right behind this dude. He checks out his target. He gives him the old assassination. Takes him down. And he's like, yeah, that's what I do. I'm Slade. And he sees this cop and he's like, this is my stop, Angelo. I'm going to walk out that door. And if you make me turn around, I'm going to splatter your brains on those kids, on those two kids next to you. Then I'll head over to 115 and 12th on 197th Street, apartment 3B. Pay your visit to your wife before I drown your kids in a toilet. Oh my gosh! This dude is like, oh my god, man, this guy, man, what the hell is this, man? What the hell is this? And he's like, I know you've been on the take for Schwartzberg. You ride this train in this car, guarding him every day. That's all done now. Take a little something for your troubles. So you can either walk around, you can even walk away, or be part of the mess I have to clean up. He's like, who are you? He's like, you know who I am. My brother's like, so I just walked in and said, look, man, I'm gonna kill you. If you do any crazy ish, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill your wife. I'm gonna kill your kids. So take this cash and just shut up. So Slade is in Brooklyn. He's like, nothing. And he's talking about no resonance from the Speed Force. I'm shocked. You became one with the Speed Force after stealing Kid Flash's power, which led to the spiritual awakening, which has now proved most predictably short-lived. So, yeah, that's why he thought that he could gain. So he's talking to this thing in his head that's supposed to be a younger Billy Wintergreen. It's like, you were a speedster moving back and forth in time. Small wonders you inherited some psychosis. Like, shut up. I'm impressed your hero face lasted this long. Now then, shall I return to the business of a proper Terminator? Is that all I am, Billy? You're also an accomplished cellist, and you're not even real. You're just an artificial intelligence program using Wintergreen's voice. A video transmitter emitted from a neurotransmitter grafted to my spine. And he's like, I'm your conscious slave. It's like, your moral center is like, and he's like, I gave morality a shot, Wintergreen, and now she's dead. It's not your fault, Slade. She's dead. Adeline pulled the plug on Project Defiance. The kids have moved on. Back to business. So we see that Jericho is lamenting basically about his about his lost fiance, Adeline, who was killed. another migraine, and he's like, it's nothing. And he's lost his icon suit, which allowed him to fly, but he can. And you see his friend here saying, you miss flying, don't you? He's like, no turns. I don't think I'll miss any of it. And he's been taking pills to solve these things, and then we see that this is memories of basically when his fiance was killed, and he believes Slade did it. And it's like, Slade, you shut down your icon system. And he's like, you killed Etienne, admit it. So he's trying to admit to her. And then, this is when he accidentally fractures his sister's skull. And he's like, no. It's like, and he's just remembering, like, I've changed. And he's mentioning to Rose that the only reason why I joined Defiance was so I could find out who killed my fiance, basically. And he's like, I won't miss it at all. So meanwhile, he finds his original sword. And we just see when it's another next chapter, it's like, well, it looks like I won. It's like, and what have you won, Billy? The pool regarding how long until you smash that case. Bloody waste of time building the thing. It's like, Adeline's been recalled to Langley, so I've heard. Just you and me now, Wintergreen, the way it's always been. And then he's like, I'm afraid not. It's like, I was with you before Deathstroke, but after Grant's death, you changed. You went so far as to steal Kid Flash's super speed in order to move through time. Nearly destroyed this timeline before you came to your senses. Yeah, I remember that. It's like, oh, for God's sakes, Billy. It's like, oh, for God's sakes, not now, Billy. It's like, I wanted to believe your experience with the Speed Force had changed you. And then a youngster took her own life, Tanya. And I tried retiring once, this time for good. It's like, let him go. We don't need him. It's like, yeah, I do. And we just see this, like, rubbish. He's old. He's weak. We've got a huge backlog, as you said. It's time to move back to business. It's like, Slade. And we just see him pissed, like, where's Rose? So Tara's still here. And we just see Jesus. And we just see, it's like, my character's killing me. It's like, he was shot. And this is this chick who's apparently been hunting down as a side thing throughout the Deathstroke series. She's been hunting down these dudes for whatever reason, I'm not sure. It's like, and pretty much she's been shot, she's been bruised, and it's just like, and so this girl wakes up. I've forgotten her original name, but I'll find out later. It's like, who are you? And he says, I'm no one, not anymore. It's like, where am I? What am I wearing? How did I get here? It's like, months ago you traveled to Vietnam in search of your mother's family. Something followed you back. And so this is Rose, Slade's daughter. And he's like, I don't understand. Where on the street is like, you've been spending your nights here in Chinatown, terrorizing a crime syndicate named White Lotus. They call you Willow, so that's her name, basically. So, it's like, what do they call you? Close your eyes. What? Don't listen with your ears, Rose. Listen to your heart. It's like, Mr. Isherwood? So, Jericho's bisexual, and this was his boyfriend at the time before he decided to move on with him and actually marry a woman. But that's neither here nor there. So we just see back in Manhattan, the all-new Superman is taking pictures. He's a celebrity. It's like he's in the Imperial States of America on a deadly mission to hunt down the... So this guy's talking in Chinese. So, he's like, Mr. Keenan asks if you please want me to say excuse me. So he's like, oh, yeah, speaking Chinese. And then Deathstroke is right behind him. And then my man, Deathstroke, just says, man, take this bullet to the head. I know you're invulnerable. It's like maybe you're confused about what it is I do for a living. It's like, if you're trying to ambush someone, don't announce it on Facebook. It's like, call it in. It's like, mini grenade. So he just shoves these grenades down his throat like mini grenades. If your online profile is accurate, you can only use your powers one at a time, which means you'll forfeit your super strength in order to focus your chi on your invulnerability. Dang. Deathstroke just kicking all types of ass. And it's like, you seem like a nice kid. Why are you helping White Lotus? And he's like, I'm serving a legal warrant. You work for that fascist witch Dr. Owen over at the Ministry of Self-Reliance. I doubt even she knows you're here. It's like, Kiao Jialong, the Forgotten, has the powerful friends in your government, manipulating an arrest warrant. It's simple stuff. The real question is, what's Giles be with me? He used to throw me some work every now and again. It's like, you speak my language with the stroke of death. Excellent. Makes super fight banter so much easier. Oh, so he can't speak English. So, that's nice. That's interesting. You're my first American supervillain. Gotta make this quick, kid. This is a non-lethal bullet, and the red anesthetic gel inside you is about to drop you. I'm not afraid of you, although I've got to admit your costume is rather creepy. Oh. It's like, gonna make this simple for you. You can keep fighting me and lose face when you realize you've been lied to, or you can do something that actually matters. And oh, by the way, those are gumballs. So he even tricked him, so he just takes down New Superman easily. Bam. So meanwhile, they go to China. Let me just see. It's like, okay, so we see Tara and Slade. It's like, okay, the nearest I can figure is that Rose has been working undercover trying to take down the White Lotus drug cartel, which has been led by an old geezer named the Grocer. It's like Rose racked the Grocer, which elevated his son to the White Lotus. Kiao Jong, it's like Kiao Jong Long, aka the Forgotten, who thinks, it's like, who thinks because Rose racked is dead that you're coming after him. It's like Hao Lang has a, so you just see the young Billy Wintergreen following him. It's like John invited me to lunch. Then he hired me to protect him, which is when Rose, wearing a red wig, attacked us. The Forgotten kept calling her by the name I use for my business, Willow. So we see that I say, Willow, you don't seem to know English. You were speaking the Hmong language. I don't speak Hmong. Well, Willow does, I see. In other words, I'm a crazy and also apparently a killer, just like my dad. So we see her hair is growing back. It's like, why are you in Chinatown, David? Favor for a friend. A priest, the man who once rescued me. One of his nuns transferred here and she was gone. Missing. Mother of Innocentia, Claire. I think Willow was looking for her. I believe the Forgotten grabbed her to draw Willow to him. It's like the Forgotten, and we just see this thing, like the Forgotten lured Rose to the office building. He lost 10 of his best guys in that fight. It's like, good girl. Slade, is Rose working some angle or 10 men? It's like, I killed 10 men? Not you, Willow. Some spirit of an ancient warrior princess possessed me? There's another possibility. When she got punched in the head by Jericho, see the concussion. When you came between Deathstroke and Jericho during their fight, cracked my skull. Willow began appearing soon after. Snow, it's like she was even there before that. It's like, dance with me at your brother's wedding and watch my brother marry Etienne, that witch. I swear, Wintergreen, I could kill her. And we realize that she's coming to the slow realization that maybe, and she's like, Joey, why am I on this wall? And we realize that maybe she actually killed her brother's fiance. But then we see that Slade is like, Slade, I don't need to be the virtual point of defense, but I tell you this is a bad idea. It's like probably 100 ninja types in there with the Forgotten. Maybe I can help you with 3 of them. I never loved you, Tara. It's like, now? It's like, you want to do this now? And she's like, oh. It's like, years ago you were just a child. I took advantage of you. It was wrong. And she's like, yes, it was. Then we go to the fact that this nun is taking over. It's like, all right, Slade, now that you find us and the nun and the Forgotten, you started this war, and only God knows why, but it ends now. And we just see the end of the book. That's fantastic. And now we dang, Priest is back at it again. I enjoyed this issue. It's nice to see Deathstroke doing his thing, back to the assassin he was. It's awesome. Give this book a 8.5 out of 10. It's good. And I really liked the new Superman. He's actually, I can see why people like his book. It's pretty cool. But, it's neither here nor there. So, yeah. So, thank y'all for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notifications. Make sure you're notified. Once again, I do these reviews for you, the people, because I want to discuss good comics and get your views on them. Thank y'all for watching. I should have more videos up later today.